What's going on, guys? It's Anime One back here with another video, and today we're gonna discussing another part of what if Naruto was taken by Jiraiya for 3 years. Let's without any ado, let's begin the video. Naruto opened his eyes. He looked what was going on. He pulled himself together and got ready with his sword and 5 3-pronged kunai. He got downstairs, however, no one was around. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. These little fucks left me behind here to sleep. Oh, thanks guys, Naruto smiled at the thought caused. He was sure that Sandro let him sleep, since he was the one who gave Naruto the hellish training yesterday. He shivered at the thought of his crazy sensei. He summarized that they all must have went to the bridge to protect Tazuna. He was glad that he went, but he was a little offended. I mean, they left me but brought Sakura, of all people, with them. Am I trash? He thought sadly. Naruto began to hear a shout from the front of the house. Naruto zoomed in from the front to see Inari in front of these bandits who had Tsunami captured in ropes. Should we kill the kid? I'm kinda looking at his mother's beautiful body. You'd think boss would mind if we had to go her a bit early, one of the thugs asked. Well, of course not, as long as he came unharmed. I can't wait myself. So, come on kid, show us what you got. Inari glared hard at the thugs, who, even in his young mind, had an idea of what they were gonna do to his mother. Inari, don't do it! Tsunami yelled, before the thugs knocked her out. Inari charged at them with tears in his eyes. Give her back! He yelled. Just as one of the thugs were about to cut him down, he heard a soft voice, and in a blur, in between the two, wind style, calm winds. Naruto said before both the thugs' head rolled down as Naruto seated his sword and looked at Inari. Inari, what you did just now was downright crazy. You could have gotten yourself killed, Naruto said. But I know I couldn't stand there myself if someone did that to my mother, so I understand, Naruto said with a smirk. I'm proud, Inari. You're finally doing something. Inari smiled as he watched Naruto leap off into the forest, heading to the bridge. Meanwhile, at the bridge was suddenly engulfed in a thick mist. As soon as Senzuru looked at Kakashi, Suki, Sasuke, Sakura, protect Tazuna, Kakashi said, as all three Genin went into a triangle formation around Tazuna. So, you guys finally showed up, Kakashi said as he brought out his Sharingan, whereas Senzuru unseated his sword. It's a rematch from the last time. With the same matchup, Senzuru Black Rose. To even things out, I call out an old acquaintance of mine for help. Here is Raiga Kushimaru, and also this time my apprentice will be fighting, Zabuza said, with a sneer, and his team got into a stance. Sandra spoke. Looks like you're all better now. Last time I checked, you were dead, he said in a sarcastic way. Well, you certainly have underestimated the power of Haku. The boy is severely talented. He has a rare ability that I have not seen before. A bloodline. Sasuke scoffed. Well, it can be greater than the Sharingan, I bet. Yes, Sasuke-kun's bloodline rules, Sasuke backed him up. Suki glared at him. We don't have time for this. Be serious, he said, embarrassing in front of the enemy. Sasuke had enough and charged at Haku, ready to test his newfound power. Haku watched as the Genin appeared before him with light speeds before blocking a kunai with the Senbon. The two Jonin growled at Sasuke's impulsive action. because Zabuza approached Sasuke and Haku. Sandro charged at Zabuza, attempting to stop him from killing Sasuke. But before Sandro could grab Sasuke, he had to dodge a bolt of lightning. But before Zabuza could kill Sasuke, Kakashi stopped his blade with his kunai. "Your fight is with me," Kakashi said, as Zabuza smirked under his mask. Senju versus Reiga. Senju and Reiga were clashing with their swords. Reiga was using his twin Kiba blades, with Senju countering the moves with his sword. Senju then replaced himself with a clone and went through several hand signs at quick lightning pace before shouting, "Fire style! Great fireball jutsu!" he said, a giant fireball from his mouth, which Reiga saw and prominently dodged. He, however, failed to notice two clones sneak up on him. Both clones, in one swift motion, lashed themselves on Reiga. As Reiga struggled to get free, Senju made a ram sign and said, "Fire clone jutsu." Both the clones burst into a fire, leaving immediate vicinity of smoke. Senju, however, was forced to dodge a couple lightning streams that came towards him. Turning his attention around, he saw Reiga still standing. His clothes were tattered. He had several burn marks and bleeding cuts. He was also breathing heavily, but he was still in fighting condition. "I would advise you stop and give up. No matter how strong an A rank ninja is, you cannot defeat an S rank on your own," Senju said in a monotone voice. "I don't really get into fights like these anymore. It is interesting to give up now," Reiga said as he crossed his blades at Senju. "I see, then you leave me no choice," Senju said as his sword was covered in fire. In a blink of an eye, Reiga had to block a slash from Senju. "So fast, I could barely follow his movements," Reiga thought, as Senju was slowly pushing down as Reiga jumped back. "Lightning style, lightning wave," Reiga said as he shot a wave of lightning towards Senju, who brought his sword up. "Fire style, annoying fire," he said, and shot a wave of fire towards the lightning. Reiga's eyes widened when his attack was completely overpowered. He had to dodge the fire wave, but his eyes widened when Senju's eyes were looking at his. "Fire style, annoying flames," Senju said, but instead of releasing flames, he let the flames stay at his sword as he sliced Reiga across his chest. Reiga yelled in pain and jumped back. "You," Reiga said. "I will defeat you," he said as lightning started to surround his whole body. "Be gone with my strongest attack, lightning style. Thunder God," Reiga said as a huge lightning dragon formed and rushed at Senju. Senju held his sword tight and raised his sword towards the lightning dragon. "Fire style. Fire tiger," Senju said as a huge fire tiger was unleashed from his sword as it went towards the lightning dragon. When the attacks collided, there was a huge explosion. Once the smoke cleared, Reiga was on his knees. Burn marks were all over his body, and Senju was standing over him with his sword at Reiga's neck. "Any last words?" Senju said, as Reiga smiled and shook his head. "Dying in a battle against a shinobi of her caliber was my dream since I was a kid. My dream is about to come true. I have nothing to say," Reiga said, as Senju closed his eyes and nodded. "Farewell, warrior," Senju said, and with a quick motion of his sword, Reiga's head rolled down and his body dropped dead. With Haku versus Suki and Sasuke. Both Suki and Sasuke were trapped inside a dome of ice mirror. They had tried to melt the ice mirror with the fire jutsu, but it all failed. Suki had her two Tomoe Sharingan activated, so did Sasuke. Was standing in front of Suki with the senbons all over his body. Suki had tears in her eyes. "Sasuke, why?" she said. Sasuke looked at her and smirked. Because you're my best friend. I think of you as my own sister, and my body, it just move on its own, Sasuke said. As he collapsed before he could hit the ground, Suki caught him. Suki, listen, you must avenge our clan. You must kill Itachi, Sasuke said as he closed his eyes. Suki's eyes widened as both of her Sharingan gained another Tomoe and changed into a Sharingan with four-pointed shuriken as he collapsed from the strain of unlocking her Mangekyo Sharingan. I see she couldn't handle the stress of a comrade dying right in front of her eyes, Haku thought as he grabbed one more Senbon. I must kill them for Zabuza-sama, Haku thought, but before he could, in a yellow flash, both Suki and Sasuke disappeared. As there was another yellow flash, Naruto appeared inside the ice dome, glaring at Haku. You will pay for hurting my friends, he said as Haku looked at him. Naruto, please give up. I don't want to kill you, Haku said. Naruto glared at the boy. And what makes you think I will do that? Naruto said as he unseated his sword as Haku sighed. Very well, then I shall kill you for Zabuza, Haku said as he threw Senbons at Naruto, but in a blink of an eye, Naruto was gone and in front of Haku. He applied chakra to his sword. Wind slash, Naruto said, and completely shattered the ice mirror. But to Naruto's surprise, the ice mirror in front of him reformed in seconds. These mirrors can regenerate within seconds, and I have to use the Hiraishin 2 times. That means I have 5 attempts to use the Hiraishin, Naruto thought. If that's the case, I will use my new move and injure the real Haku in an instant, Naruto thought, as he took out 5 of his 3-pronged kunai from his pouch and threw them in a circle all around the ice dome. Flying Raijin, tearing winds, Naruto said as he applied wind chakra to his sword and vanished in a yellow flash. In a blink of an eye, all the mirrors were completely destroyed, and Haku was visibly surprised when a sword was at the tip of his neck. Haku's eyes widened. How can someone be so fast? All I saw was a yellow flash and all my mirrors were destroyed, and the tip of his sword is touching my neck, Haku thought. Don't move or I'll kill you, Naruto said, in an icy tone that sent shivers down Haku's spine, as he had no choice but to nod. Suddenly, Haku heard a chirping of 1,000 birds. He turned his head to see Zabuza pinned down by the dogs and Kakashi with a Chidori in his hands, rushing towards Zabuza. Haku seeing this appeared in front of Zabuza and got stabbed in his heart. Zabuza starts trash-talking Haku. Naruto gives him the same speech as Kanon, and Gato's men appeared. Zabuza killed all Gato's men and Gato like he did in Kanon. Naruto went towards Sasuke and pulled out all the needles and then collapsed due to chakra exhaustion because of him using the Hiraishin. Time skip 2 weeks. After the whole bridge battle ordeal, Chazuna's plans to rebuild the bridge went underway once again. This time, with no worries of threats or blackmails, the Konoha ninja did help out as well. Alright brats, let's head out. Inari grabbed Naruto's leg. You're coming back soon, right? He cried. Seeing his new role model leave, Naruto rubbed the boy's head. Of course, I'll be back before you know it, he said as he walked off, waving a bye to everyone as the Konoha ninjas left the wave. One of the civilians asked, well, what's it been called the bridge? How about the Great Sexy Tazuna Bridge? Ow! Tazuna shouted, nursing a bruise from his daughter. How about, Inari stated, as he stared at Naruto's back, leaving. The great Naruto bridge. All of the crowd yelled in agreement. Chazuna smiled, looking at Naruto's back. That kid is something else. Very well. The great Naruto bridge it is. Time skip. 3 months. It had been 3 months since the wave mission. Naruto was nearing mid-jonin level. Thanks to Senju's hellish training, he had progressed every day and very fast. His Kenjutsu was the area where he had progressed the most. Senju even said that he was close to evolving Enma to a second stage. He and Senju also had worked. It had been 3 months since the wave mission. Naruto was nearing mid-jonin level thanks to Senju's hellish training program. He had progressed every day and very fast. His Kenjutsu was the area where he has progressed the most. Senju even said that he was close to evolving Enma to its second stage. He and Senju also worked on a move of Naruto which uses lightning changes chakra nature and the Hiraishin combination to make him incredibly fast. Talking about the Hiraishin, Naruto had almost mastered the jutsu. He could use the jutsu at least 30 times a day. From what Naruto guessed, he would have the jutsu down in a month. He was working on the damn jutsu for almost 5 years, for God's sake. He had been working on his father's space-time absorbing barrier for almost 4 years. He estimated that both moves were almost 25% complete. He smiled. Since Senju had trained him, he was progressing very fast, and he was grateful to his sensei for that. Over the past 3 months, Naruto had performed 15 C rank missions, 8 B ranks, 4 A ranks, and his record in missions was flawless. Naruto, the reports also put the things in his favor. They mentioned how Naruto was sticking to his superior orders and carrying out all the orders he got with minimum work. It also mentioned that he was capable of adapting to the change of plans on the field to ensure the success of the mission without risking their lives. Iruka had protested against the decision of the Hokage letting Naruto go on a B or even an A rank mission, but the old man reminded him that with Senju there, Naruto was safe. Kakashi had been training Suki and Sasuke to brink of exhaustion every day for 3 months. He saw how strong Naruto was and he wanted to get his genin to at least give Naruto a challenge. Sasuke had fully matured his Sharingan and same could be said for Suki, but she was not aware of the fact that she had unlocked the Mangekyo. They both were at least tuning level since Kakashi had taught them his signature technique, the Chidori. Currently, we see Naruto walking in the street towards a bridge. Senju had called him there to tell him about something important. As soon as he reached his destination, he found Team 7 to be waiting. Upon seeing him, Suki blushed as he approached them. "So guys, what's up?" Naruto asked. Asuki decided to answer the question. "Kakashi-sensei called us here for something important," she said as Naruto nodded. "Same here," Naruto said. Soon, however, both Kakashi and Senju appeared. "So, sensei, what did you call us here for?" Naruto asked. The question all the genins had in their mind. "As you know, the tuning exams are coming up. I've decided to recommend you for the tuning exams. Naruto, you're special. You'll take that exam solo as you don't have a team," Kakashi explained as he handed the genins their form. "Kakashi-sensei, I don't want to take the exams," Sakura said. Kakashi looked at her. "And why is that?" he asked in a curious tone. "Because I know for a fact that I can't compete with the genins in the exam. I'll just be slowing down Suki and Sasuke. I've decided to become a medic ninja," Sakura said. Kakashi gave her an eye smile. Very well, Sakura. I'll talk to the head medic to train you, he said with an eye smile. In that case, Naruto, I would like you to join Team 7 for the tuning exams, Senju said. He knew that Naruto was more than capable of passing the exams on his own, but being with the team would increase his chance of winning. Naruto looked at Senju and nodded. So it's settled. Naruto, Suki, along with Sasuke, will be taking the exam as a team, Senju said. As they all nodded, Suki smiled and nodded before she began talking to her friends again. This time, Kakashi spoke and said, if you want to take the exams, fill those forms and submit them to the academy by Friday. He said, Naruto, I'm going to eat. You wanna come? Senju said, as Naruto shook his head. Not today, Sensei. I have some things to do today, Naruto said, as he pocketed his form. Sakura, I have some books on medical ninjutsu. If you want them, you could pick them up, Naruto said, as Sakura nodded and followed him. Suki, I have something to give you. Please come with me, he said, as Suki raised an eyebrow, but nodded and decided to follow him. As he was walking, he noticed a square rock with two perfect saved eyes following him. He chuckled as he knew exactly who it was. He turned around and said, Alright, you three, that's enough. Come out now. The box lifted from the ground, and the smoke was clear, making the three shinobis back up, thinking it was an attack, but sighed as they saw it was just three kids. Damn, Udon, too much smoke, a boy named Udon coughed. Sorry, Naruto looked at the three as he recognized them. And who might you three be? Suki asked. I'm Mugino, the prettiest kunoichi of the academy. The girl with two pigtails pointed up and said, I'm Udon. I like math. The kid with the glasses said, and I'm Konohamaru, the leader. And together we are Konohamaru Troop. Naruto and Sakura looked at these kids like they were weird while Suki laughed, enjoying how high-spirited they were. So, what do you want? Naruto asked. Well, we just want to know, since you guys look strong and fast, could you maybe play with us? Play what? Ninja? Wow, could you be more pathetic, Naruto? Sakura said. Naruto sighed as Suki glared. Well, it's not like I would go and say yes to them. I barely know the sports, but I would have taught them a thing or two, for real shinobi. Konohamaru nodded his head at the thought of learning something, but something else caught his attention at the moment. Say, boss, he tugged Naruto's pants, getting his attention. Konohamaru pointed at Sakura while his other hand raised his pinky. Is that your girl, Naruto frowned, trying to figure out what the pinky meant. Wow. Suki grew red from anger, though she didn't know why. Sakura grew red just from blushing, even if she didn't like him, and thought that, compared to Sasuke, Naruto was nothing. She couldn't deny that Naruto was hot, so having him to sort out after her wasn't so bad. So, you mean to ask if she's my girlfriend? No, I would rather date someone else. Sakura deflated at that but grew angry. Her anger ignited when she heard the kid yell. Haha, yeah, you're right, boss. She's not worth it, unlike the black-haired one right next to you. She's pretty, while the pink-haired one just has a big forehead. Sakura began to walk closer towards the group, while Naruto sighed. Hey, Konohamaru, right? Yeah, that's me, boss. Run. Konohamaru was confused until he ducked a punch that came his way and ran with three of his friends, while Sakura chased after them with a kunai in her hand. Naruto sighed. Such an exciting day, won't you agree, Suki? He said. Too exciting, Suki replied. So, what do you want to give me? She asked. As she looked at Naruto, Naruto blushed. Well, he said, as he took out a necklace. I want to give you this, he said as he showed her the necklace. Suki blushed as she looked at the necklace. It's beautiful, she said as she looked at the necklace. The necklace was made of pure gold with Uchiha crest, but Naruto secretly had one of his flying Raijin marks in the necklace so that he could protect her at all times. The seal was designed in such a way that if Suki was low on chakra, Naruto would know that she was in danger. Well, it's the least I can do. You have been at my side since the first day of the academy, Naruto said. As he gave her the necklace, Suki took it and pulled Naruto towards her and hugged him. Thank you, she said, as Naruto smiled. Well, as much as I like this, I can't let Sakura kill Konohamaru, Naruto said, breaking the hug as Suki chuckled and nodded. He smiled as both Suki and Naruto rushed off where the group ran off to. You think she would kill him? She asked. Well, despite what I said, of course not. She's not a total dumbass to go and kill the grandson of the third Hokage. But at the same time, it's Sakura, so we should be prepared for the worst. Suki chuckled a bit as the two reached a path that had people they were looking for, but a few more added into the equation. One was a sand blonde girl with four pigtails and a dude in a black catsuit. The kid with the catsuit was holding Konohamaru by his blue scarf, while Sakura was there obviously trying to and failing to get the kids back, while Sasuke was there too, trying to get noticed but failed since he was in a fucking tree. Naruto sighed as he went through hand signs. What are you doing? Suki asked, but the reply was going through hand signs at a fast pace. Wind style, air bullets. He shot a bullet out of his mouth, which hit a hand on the catsuit kid, getting him to drop Konohamaru from the pain. Ouch! Who the hell did that? I'm sorry, but it's kinda treason to threaten such an important piece in our village. I mean, the kid is the third Hokage's grandson, you know, Naruto said as he walked into the field. Naruto, everyone of Konoha's genin, thought. Besides Suki, thought with either happiness or annoyance. The blonde girl looked at Naruto, who just answered with a blush. So I guess you're the brains of this group, huh? Suki saw watch as she was trying to do and grew upset and walked right behind Naruto and stood rather close to him. You could say that, but there's me too. The sand girl smiled. Before anything else could happen, sand was seen forming behind them, and two unknown people turned around in fear. Kankuro, Temari, you're being shame upon our village. The guy in a black suit spoke. But Kara, they shut up or I'll kill you. Sasuke's eyes widened. Who was that kid? He was right behind me. And I didn't even notice or sense him, Sasuke thought before jumping down, being admired by Sakura for his coolness. Gaara turned to the genin and spoke. I'm sorry for causing the disturbance. We will not be causing you any more trouble. Hey, wait a second, Sakura said, as she was trying to look cool in front of her Sasuke. What? One of Temari asked, in an annoyed tone. I've noticed your Suna headbands. You're not supposed to be here unless given authorization. So what are we doing here? Talk or less we'll have to arrest you. Naruto sighed at Sakura's statement. Sakura, they're here for the Chunin exams, Naruto said as Sakura looked at him and chuckled nervously. We will be seeing you in the exams, Gaara asked. I don't know, you might, Naruto said as he began to turn around. Suki, Sakura, come on, let's go. The Uchiha nodded. Just as the two head off, Gaara called them back. And what are your names? Naruto turned around. Uzumaki Naruto, Suki Uchiha, Sasuke Uchiha. Gaara nodded, but somehow more kept the names popping up in his head. That Gaara kid, stay away from him, Naruto said as he looked at Sakura and Suki. As Suki raised an eyebrow. Why? She asked, as Naruto just looked at her. That kid gives me bad vibes, Naruto said, as Suki nodded as they both arrived at an apartment. Sakura, stay here. I'll get you the scrolls that I have, Naruto said as Sakura nodded as Naruto entered his quote-unquote apartment. It was an apartment that his father had bought. He sighed and flashed to his house and grabbed the scrolls and flashed back to the apartment. The door opened as Naruto came, as he held 3 scrolls. This is all I have, I hope it helps, Naruto said, as he gave Sakura the scrolls. Thank you, Naruto, Sakura said as he left with the scrolls. Well, we better start training for the exams. We have about a week, Naruto said. Suki nodded as they both went into their training grounds. So guys, this is done of the Legacy of the Yellow Flash, chapter 7 and 8 of the story, and this will be part 6 of the What If. So I hope you guys like this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. It really does help, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.